Hey guys, welcome back to this place. If you are new, welcome here for the very first time. I'm Carmen, this is Loki, this is River, and today we are going to be watching Season 4, Episode 16 of Battlestar Galactica. Is that in your way? Last time on Battlestar Galactica, last time we actually watched the Plan film, which to my understanding came out after Battlestar had ended to sort of fill in some of the plot holes that were created throughout the show. And it was suggested to me to watch it after 15 and before 16 because people just felt that that is narratively kind of where it fit best. And having not finished the show, obviously, I think I agree, just because it was, if that's the last thing I ever watched of Battlestar Galactica, like, it just wouldn't have been, it would have been very, like, meh, because I kind of feel like the movie's a little bit meh, you know? Anyway, in episode 15, we got Ellen talking to Cavill. We sort of discovered a lot more about the Cylons and where they're coming from, in particular Cavill and Ellen. And the movie did provide, more backstory about just how the Cylons came to be where they were, and like just the sort of cyclical nature of the Cylons are created. There's a war, a lot of people die, the Cylons are created. It really just showed us that this is sort of this loop that people seem to be trapped in. And yeah, maybe they'll break it, I guess we just have to wait and see how the show ends to see if that loop is able to be broken. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. We lost Sam. I think that was the last episode. Yeah, he had a severe brain injury, and while he is still technically alive, he's not going to recover. We don't think. So, you guys, I think that's where we left off. I'm going to stop rambling because my brain is not working, and I feel like I've already talked too long anyway. So let me stop, and let's just get into episode 16. Wow. Can y'all not? They messed with her. Is that Ty's 6?
Liam is fine.
Liam?
You know, I'd sleep better at home with you.
Is that what the baby's name is going to be? What about when Ellen comes back? Oh.
Sit rep.
Speaking of the fucking devil. Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Oh my God. That's Ellen Todd. Bill.
Yeah.
How many dead chicks are out there?
They knew she was the final 5th one, right?
Aren't you gonna help a lady down off this thing?
Nice to see you again.
Oh.
This is Boomer.
Marines,
Sir.
take this number 8 to the brig.
I thought Boomer got shot. Am I confused? What's your girlfriend gonna say about that, Ty? Huh? Oh, I am here for the messy drama of it all.
Samuel Anders was badly injured. He's not responding.
Oh my God.
He's not dead, Ellen. There's hope.
I want to see him. I want to see him and the others.
Maybe she can revive. I don't know how. I don't know. I think you should. Why not? Why not? Why not?
Let's see what we can do.
Thank you.
There's some to tell you.
You better say it fast.
Yeah, you
Ellen, wait.
yeah, you might want to tell her. Saul.
Floor or table?
I don't care.
Saul, you can't. I feel like she's gonna be angry when she finds out that you got a girlfriend and a baby on the way. Oh. That's an interesting role reversal right there. That's. Oh. Wait, what's wrong with her? Is she okay?
Well, we realized we'd been abandoned. We had to take care of ourselves.
Abandoned? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
Abandoned by God.
that. I might say that.
There were dead men in the halls with guns in their hands. So we took their guns. Now we can protect our food and we can protect ourselves.
His cult getting dangerous.
So who'd you frag?
What?
Come on. You don't think I know your repertoire after thousands of years of marriage?
It was a 6. Caprica 6.
Well, are you still seeing her?
Yes.
And
The child Hera is the hope for a new blended future. That used to be true, but now there is another way. Caprica 6's unborn baby is pure Cylon. We can rebuild a pure Cylon civilization.
Even if we don't find a planet to colonize, we can live indefinitely on the base.
her yet.
Look at him. He'd die over there.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
Caprica 6
No,
is pregnant.
no, he didn't tell her. He had not told her yet. Did you fucking forget?
You are our children.
Can we talk about the offer? Maybe deal with the baby later? Are we going or?
Of course not. Ender specifically said, do not abandon the fleet.
So you love her.
Last thing he ever said.
Really freaking what he said.
He's not saying anything now.
I mean, you just...
Okay, well that's pretty fucked up.
We won't leave with just 1 or 2 of the 5. It has to be all of you or none of you.
So you need to vote, and the outcome will bind all of you. Majority rule. It's what Cylons do. It's a legacy from you.
Fine. So it's a vote? All right. I vote we go.
Carol.
Great. That's me and you. And we don't really know what Anders would vote.
He said
There we go.
stay.
He said he'd stay.
Yeah, exactly.
Years of
Tori.
trying to have children, and we never could. Ellen. You must have been laughing your shiny, shiny head off.
Oh.
It was impossible. You didn't love me.
Ellen.
So, what are you saying? Do you vote to stay or to go?
You can't really ask her in this heat of the emotional wound moment.
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, good.
Ellen.
If they go, then won't the cycle continue?
This is Gaius.
Oh,
Really? I'm very flattered
It was his father's name.
yeah.
to have the same name as his father.
As
Very,
obviously he's too old to have been named after you.
I will ensure that every single one of you are fed, and your children are fed, as God is my witness.
I just never know his motivation, you know, Gaius. Usually for Gaius, you know.
I step off that raptor and boom, we're making love. And less than a day later, I'm screaming at him. But we were always like that. Anyway, I wanted to assure you.
She wanted to tell you that they fracked.
He didn't tell you about the sex.
You knew that.
I'm...
Not sorry.
I come here to try to be good, and...
I don't blame her, but
You know, when we were still trying to have our
Not
own...
really.
He always brought up the name Liam. Oh, pure Cylon baby. If Simon knew, he'd want it so badly.
I'll take care of this child.
That wasn't a threat, Caprica.
it kind of Sounded like it.
It was a threat.
Yeah.
Not very machine-like of you. Great grandpa was a power sander.
Power sander, is that what he said?
I am so disappointed with you.
She thinks we can't get what we need.
She thinks we can't get what we need.
Yeah! Yeah!
I don't know about that. I don't know if fighting violence with violence is gonna create peace.
Her baby. He's pure Cylon. If we go off and make some pure Cylon culture, that's what happened on Earth, and it led to disaster.
This is what I said.
Pure human doesn't work. Pure Cylon doesn't work. It's too weak.
You just don't want to leave the one you really love.
What? You talking about Belle?
There is something in the universe that he loves far more than you or me.
Humans.
And that's Billadama.
You don't even want to go. This is all to hurt
It's
me.
Billadama and the
Can you
ship
sink so
and the
low?
uniform and everything else
Why are
takes
you doing
second
this?
place. I knew I did, but I always wondered if a baby would. Guess I know now.
I was gonna say, their baby is not gonna survive based off of just the way that she's been in pain.
I just shouldn't be here.
First intelligent thing you've said.
They are just toxic, you know? No, sure, they've been together for thousands of years, but this, I feel, has been toxic for thousands of years.
I'll go away with the others, and you can be together.
That's it. I'm sorry.
No. No, that was me. That was me. I take it back. I'm sorry.
The lady and I have some work to do here now.
No.
It's time for you to leave. You have to go now. Nurse?
No.
Nurse? No. Out. Now.
But it's not anybody's fault. I'm so confused as to why they're acting like they have any sort of control over it with words or feelings. Like, is there something I'm missing?
That's not a mutiny, Admiral. That is a revolution.
And you think you can maintain order?
Listen to me, listen.
He's not wrong.
Please, Admiral.
I am offering you the last human solution you will ever be presented with.
Ooh, that's interesting. The last human solution. Oh.
Liam. His name was Liam. It's a good name.
Short for William.
Yeah. It's not like Zach, I know. I know it's not.
I know.
It's okay.
It's okay to be upset.
It's okay.
These are the Cylons that have died with us since the Alliance. I didn't know they were doing that, did you?
It's already happened, hasn't it?
Hmm.
It's already happened, hasn't it? Okay, so I enjoyed that episode. I'm trying to think if it feels like it's ramping up to like the end of the show or not. I guess like Gaius and his people are now armed, which Paula kind of concerns me. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna go. We have like the Cylons kind of wanting to leave, which like Ty said, and I think I pointed it out during the episode, like feels like just giving in to the cyclical nature of everything that's happened before, you know. But of course, like, I guess the Cylons don't really care, right? Because of the idea of this has all happened before, it'll all happen again. So they've sort of resigned themselves to the fact that history is going to just keep repeating itself. I don't know why they wouldn't want to like try to change that going forward, especially because it keeps leading to the destruction of their people, you know? Yeah, so I don't know. Also, I am very confused, and maybe you guys can shed some light. Maybe I'm misinterpreting what it is. Maybe they'll explain in the next episode, and so it's spoilers, and you guys won't be able to tell me. But I am so confused about why Ellen and Ty and even Caprica 6 to some extent were like, it seemed like they vehemently thought that like they could control whether or not the baby was okay or not just by like words and love and act. Like I'm so confused because one, Ellen was like, you know, this proves that he loves you, and like it proves that you never loved me because we could never have a child. And you know, it's so confusing because I mean, I don't know if they're trying to imply that it works differently for Cylons, and I don't know how you could possibly quantify it in that way, but like, as we all know, love is not a necessary ingredient for the creation of a child. Like, it's nice when that is an ingredient in the creation of a child because I think it bodes a lot better for the child. However, it's not really relevant. It's just genetic. Yeah. So I'm not really sure how, like, what, like, that whole scene, like, I get that they're talking about, like, the subtext of these relationships. I get that they're implying that Ty or Ellen is hurt because Ty was able to have a child with Caprica 6 when they were never able to have a child. I totally get that. She lashed out, wanted to hurt Ty, and by extension Caprica 6, because they were having something that her and Ty could never have. I get that. She felt jealous and insecure. Ellen. So did Caprica 6, I'm sure. Like, I get that. There's a complicated love triangle-ness to it because he thought you were dead and he didn't remember who he was. So it's like, in a way, you can't blame him. But also, if you've been with someone for literally thousands of years, had multiple lifetimes with them, you're going to feel a certain type of way if they're with someone else. Like, I get all of that. I get, like, all of the nuance of the interpersonal relationships between everybody. What I don't get is the implication that any of that is relevant for reproduction. You know? Like, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't know. And again, maybe I just misinterpreted that. But in particular in the scene where they're by the hospital bed and like everybody's blaming themselves, which again, like, can be normal, right? Because when something happens, if you're going through the loss of a pregnancy, from what I understand, I've not personally been through it, people often will question themselves, like, oh, if I didn't do this, if I didn't do that, if I made this choice instead of that choice, you know. And a lot of times, you know, in that situation, there is going to be like internal blame placed upon yourself, and by and large, it's just an unnecessary thing that causes more pain to the person who's already in pain. However, this felt different than that. Yeah. I don't know. I also do understand where Ellen's coming from with the whole idea of, like, we created these particular Cylons, so we are like their parents. So it's kind of weird that you would have sex with one and then have a kid with one, because that's kind of already like our kid. So I get that aspect of it. But again, Ty did not know. He had no memory. So we can't really blame him for that. I really enjoyed the scene. I was touched by the scene with Ty and Bill when he lost Liam, which I did not even realize that Liam was an abbreviation of William, which it makes sense. It's like the last bit of William. But yeah, it's interesting too that Ellen sort of pointed out that Ty's true love is Bill, and by extension humanity. I think it's very it's touching. I really enjoy Ty and Adama's relationship, and I think that it's really nice to sort of see them focus on a platonic male friendship where the people can be vulnerable with each other, where they can support each other and they can really care about each other. I think that that's a very nice display and something that we don't see often on television, which is vulnerable male friendships, and I think that it's needed a lot more. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. Yeah. The only thing that, like I said, the only thing that I just don't, like, because I thought all of those scenes were really interesting and impactful. The only thing I don't understand is the idea that they had any control over it with, like, their feelings. I don't know. Hi, Samuel. And again, maybe I'm just reading that wrong. So, like I said, you guys can let me know if it's not a spoiler. If it's a spoiler, just be like, yo, that's a spoiler. We can't tell you. But, yeah. Speaking of Samuel, what was going on with Anders at the end? His machine was all machining, you know? Like, does that mean brain activity is happening? Does that mean he's going to wake up? Does that mean that the baby that was gonna be born is actually now Anders? Like, I don't know how, like, I don't understand the sort of mystical implications of this show. Like, I don't know what the rules are. So I also am really interested in what's going on with Gaius and his people. It's good to see Gaius try to help people and to actually be genuinely interested in helping people. That being said, I'm also concerned about the fact that his faction is now armed. His cult, which is what I've been calling it, and it's kind of feeling more and more cult-like as the episodes tick by. I also thought it was really interesting to see the sort of power struggle with him and Paula in this episode, and just him struggling to re-exert his sort of influence and be the one in power again after being gone for a bit. Also, and maybe this is just makeup, maybe this is just the facial hair, I don't know, but it seems to me like the actor for Gaius lost some weight, and he never needed to lose any weight, but please do not think that's what I'm saying. But it seems like he lost weight in this season, and like the food shortages, everybody's struggling, right? Like, I wonder if his like sort of disheveled weight loss appearance is supposed to be indicative of the way that the fleet is coping. You know what I mean? Again, maybe it's just makeup, maybe it's just clothes, maybe it's facial, like maybe it's just something that like they're showing us so it seems that way. But either way, I think it's supposed to be like an indication that he is like part of the group of people that are struggling. All of the cracks in the ship and this sort of symbolic nature of that, and of Adama really struggling with whether or not he should accept Cylon help, or if Cylon help is going to actually be the end of humanity. I just think it's really interesting that we're sort of having this, the Galactica, which is like the sort of symbol of hope of humanity, right? There's like, that is the biggest sort of, I mean, it's kind of like a metaphor for the idea that humanity can continue. And we realized last week or the week before that there were a bunch of cracks in all of the like they went deeper. Like we saw that, like Tyrell saw the one crack, and then we investigated and discovered that there's like a bunch of cracks, and like basically the Galactica is was moments away from just like tearing itself apart, right? Like humanity was moments away from kind of ceasing to exist, and only through the help of the Cylons putting the goo in the cracks, which creates like a bond, because it's not really living but kind of living. They never really answered that. And Tyrell said it turns into like cartilage of sorts, right? And so I just think that that has to be like meant to be symbolic of the way that humanity has been falling apart, and only through the Cylons kind of coming in and helping have they been able to hold on a little bit longer. And we don't really know how long the ship will hold together, or if this is going to work at all, which feels symbolic of, we don't really know if integrating the Cylons with the humans is going to work, and if it's going to save humanity at all. It could still destroy everything. And it's kind of just like this wait and see game, which feels very much what is happening in the show with the people, right? So I think that's a really cool sort of thing that they're doing. Yeah, so I really enjoy the way that the ship is reflective of the fleet, like the humans in the fleet, and the Cylons coming in is symbolic. You know, it's just a very apt sort of symbolism that they're doing, but I really appreciate it. And watching as Adama panics about the ship, and panics about the Cylons, and panics about like everything, it's really interesting. The closer that we get to the end of this show, the more worried that I get that we're not going to have a happy ending. Because Adama's popping these pills, he's drinking a lot, we don't have another planet to go to, Earth was a bust, we're sort of just struggling to continue on, and we don't really know where we're going or where it's gonna lead. Still have no fucking clue what the fuck is up with Starbuck. Kind of wish that we would start exploring that, because we really don't have that long left. Yeah. Maybe when Anders wakes up, he'll know something. If he wakes up, I'm assuming that he might, based off of the machine going nuts. But we still don't know what the miracle is. Like, is that Starbuck? Is it something else? Is it... Maybe they'll find another planet. Maybe Ty is right, too, because he interestingly sort of talked about how he thinks that, like, Cylons, it's like, it's too much. And just humans is too much. Or not enough, right? Like, too weak, kind of. So the idea that Hera and the hybrid between the human and the Cylon is actually the future is a really interesting thought. Now, I personally think that that would be a cool way to end it. Like, would it be sad? I'm trying to think. Like, don't know. I don't necessarily think so, because I think that humanity evolving isn't inherently bad, even if, now, it depends on, like, your definition of human and, like, how human a human Cylon hybrid would be, right? So I don't know, like, yeah, I don't know. I would have to think about it more. Maybe if that's how they end, I'll try to conceptualize whether or not I think that that is a happy ending, a sad ending, an apropos ending, or, like, you know, just somewhere in the middle. Anyway, I am rambling far too much. I won't shut the fuck up. I enjoyed Ellen in this episode still. She kind of had a lot more of her old Ellen sort of behaviors, which seems to be triggered by Ty. I don't know. But yeah, I still enjoy her more than human Ellen, I think, which technically never existed, but hopefully you guys know what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, if you want, you can like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. You can also watch the next episode right now over on Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube, as well as my entire full-length reaction to everything else that's happened prior to this, including the miniseries, the Resistance webisodes, the Razor film, what was the plan, well, the other webisodes that we just watched, Face of the Enemy, yeah, all that stuff. It's all over there. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time for episode 17. We're getting real close to the end, you guys. Until then, bye guys. Say bye, Sammy. Bye.